Hi, my name is Thomas Pilgaard. I was the game designer on Flipside, Half-Life 2 mod.
I'm Rune Skovbo Johansen. I was lead programmer on Flipside and I live in Aarhus, Denmark.
In Denmark we have this pop culture icon person named Hannibal Hildorf. He's sort of a folk singer who's eternally happy. He's over the top happy actually. And we sort of came to think of what the opposite to that might be. And also my director sort of had a fascination of cardboard objects, flat objects. So we took those two things and worked it into a concept where we sort of had a flat world and then wanted a camera that could spin around it and have two different sides to it. And from there we also got onto the whole different features, like happy features jumping high on one side and more aggressive features like attacking and crawling up vertical surfaces and stuff like that on the other. Flipside was made as a student project under the Danish National Academy of Digital Interactive Entertainment, which is sort of a collaboration between universities and art schools in Denmark. Using Steam for our project was part of the conditions for the project we were doing. I hadn't messed around with Steam and Hammer before, so I didn't know much about it. How about you, Rune?
All the programmers were to have a look at, not Steam, the source engine used for the mod. But we didn't go into any depth investigating it. The main part of the knowledge of the engine was something we got during the 1 month production. It was completely a learning process. The main thing was changing the camera angle to an external point of view, pointing onto the main character from the side, and mapping the key controls differently. And then we went from there and added our own features like the 180 degrees flipping when you press the button of the camera.
The objects themselves are actually 3D. They have some depth to them, but they're as flat as we thought it would look good to make them.
The concept of the game was sort of fluid and changing as we went along, because it was very different from anything else. We had a great project manager. A little while into the project, we got the idea to divide the feature request from the director and game designer into 3 categories. One was the features that were needed. One was the ones that were just wanted, and the last one would be nice to have. And for each feature, they would say how important the features were for the game they envisioned, while we as the programmers would estimate how difficult and how long time the features would take to make. We also had schedules for how much time could we use to test out this thing before we decided it was not possible. So by combining these kind of point schemes, we could decide which features to scrap from the project because they were too expensive relative to how important they were, and which features to focus on immediately because they were vital to the project.
Also, it's a pretty fine balance between implementing features, wanting more features, or doing polish. There were different interests, but of course we wanted the best for the game, so that was the goal all the time.
We basically had these structures for who was responsible for what. But that being said, we also wanted to have a very open culture where everyone could come with suggestions for the game, even if it was not related to their own expertise and areas. And that worked really well. We had daily status meetings, and in the beginning we did some brainstorms, all of us. And we had the advantage of all sitting in the same physical room full time for 1 month, and it really helped the creative process because, well, communication is just easier face to face.
Our artists used like Photoshop and 3D Max. Our project manager used MS Project, of course.
We used Visual Studio, obviously, for the programming.
And we used something called SVN for versioning control.
the Sven versioning had a very critical role in our iterative development, because we didn't only put the source code on SVN, we actually also put the binaries and all the content on there, which allowed everyone on the team to download a fully working game without having to compile on all the computers. And it gave everyone a great sense of progress and knowing what was the latest added features at any time.
I was at a game design workshop Monday and Tuesday, and one of the things they were very adamant about was screw up as fast as you can, do it as often as you can. That's the only thing that will get you the experience to do better. And that's what learning is all about, I think.
If it's at all possible for others to get together and actually sit face to face and develop the game together, that'll probably be a big help compared to doing it just online. But just getting something done is always better than just waiting for the right moment. Just get started right away.
We were just here to talk about what a great experience it was, and maybe get somebody else to do it for themselves, because it's a very great thing to do, especially if you want to break into the industry somehow.